Perfect.
Mhm.
Awesome. Welcome everybody to another night of Fall into Better Habits with Wheel with Me. I am so happy to see so many faces on here tonight. Oh my goodness. Such a big crowd today. And we have some repeats from yesterday who were in our dance class. We got Roberta and Chris who were dancing with us yesterday, and Marty. Nice to see you guys back again. As always, the Tuesday night spot is held up for Sarah. If you guys have been with us before, Sarah always brings the energy. She has been doing confidence coaching for a very long time. There's a lot of us in the room today who've actually been working with Sarah in the past or who have worked with her. So we kind of know what we're in store for here. So without further ado, I just want to thank everyone for taking a little bit of time out of your night to spend with us. And thank you, Sarah, for giving up your time again. And without further ado, Sarah, go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I love this. This is a full Zoom room. That makes me so happy. I've even got one of my one-on-one clients, Alyssa. I got to shout you out. Alyssa's diving in with me one-on-one, which is really cool. So I want to start by raising our energy. So I'm going to turn up some music and I want you to just kind of follow along or don't. Like if you just like, I got to move my body in a different way because this song is doing something to my body. Whoops, not that one. You're like, wah, wah. There it is. All right, it's that damn time. It's that damn time. Let's circle your neck and your head.
It's bad bitch o'clock, yeah, it's thick 30.
Let's side to side.
But I'm still flirty. Is everybody back up in the building? It's been a minute, tell me how you're healing.
Go ahead and open up our ribcage to my diaphragm.
How you feeling? How you
Go
feeling
around.
Go around.
Yeah.
I'm way too fine to be this
Other way.
I'm not the girl I was or used to be. Bitch, I might be better. Turn up the music.
Go push up.
Turn down the
And now
lights.
take yourself to the hip. I know it's a little bit tough, but let's go feel the
I'm
side.
gonna be alright, okay.
The world.
About damn time.
Yeah. Get those hips warmed up. Diaphragm warmed up.
I'm
There
gonna
we
be
go.
okay.
Stretch the side.
Alright, it's about damn time. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Feeling
Open up
fussy,
them
walking in my
fingers.
Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fabulous. Cause I
Other
give a
side.
fuck way too much. I'ma need like 2 shots in my cup. Wanna get up, wanna get down. That's how I feel right now.
Know the words, sing it. Yeah. Now go and round out your back. Push your upper back to the ceiling.
Stressed, yeah.
Head down to the ground. Oh yeah, feel that stretch in your shoulder.
Bitch, I might be better.
All right, go ahead and turn to the left.
Turn down the light.
Behind you.
I got a feeling I'm gonna be alright. Okay.
All right.
It's about damn time. Turn up the music. Let's celebrate. I got a feeling I'm gonna be okay. Okay. Alright. It's about damn time.
Do a little shimmy. Come on. There you go, Jackie. I see you. Come on, Chris. Alyssa. Oh yeah, I see it.
You know what time it is. I'm
There we
coming
go.
out tonight. I'm
All right.
coming out
Thank you
tonight.
guys for
I'm
coming
coming
today.
out tonight. I'm coming out.
Definitely get something to write with. Definitely open up your hearts and your minds. I'm going to ask all of you to do something for me. You guys game? You want to play? You want to play full out today? He's all maybe. All right. I want today you guys to have childlike wonder. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I might say something that you're like, oh, no, either I know that, or been there, done that, or I don't agree with that. And instead, I want you to just kind of open up your heart, open up your mind, open up your soul a little bit. And if I say something new or something you maybe didn't previously agree with, or maybe something that you're like, oh, I know that, I don't need to hear it again. I want you to just go, huh, another way that I could look at this. Because that's the fun thing about kids, right? They see things from the most random angles, but they're wide-eyed about it. They want to learn new things. They want to experience new things. So you guys game with that? Kind of go back to childlike wonder. You guys open? I need every head to nod. Okay. Are you guys awake? Yeah, now we're awake. All right. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. Have you guys heard that saying before? How you do one thing is how you do everything. That's why on these calls, we start with movement. We start with high energy. Because going into something new, learning something new, our defenses sometimes come up, maybe that we're peeking through, we're doing all these things, but when we move our body, we get energized, we get open, we get to this place of allowing new things to come our way, and we experience it completely different because our energy is up. So if you start to feel your energy go like this, I want you to just move your body. Give me a shimmy, give me a twist, give me a whatever. If I start to see the group collectively go like this, I'm going to turn up the music and make you dance. I'm going to call you out one by one, make you dance. All of a sudden, people are going to like turn off and they're like, see ya. No, keep the energy up, and then I won't have to single you out. All right, it's so interesting because I've done Empowerment Week now. Lost count. We'll just say we lost count because I literally have no idea how many. Yeah, something like 8. I think this is 8. So I feel really, really honored that I'm still here, still kicking. And then on the other hand, I'm like, childlike wonder. What the hell am I going to talk about? I've talked to these girls over and over. Oh, God, girls and guys. I'm usually just talking to girls. I've talked to these guys so many times. What can I bring new? And I first want to ask a question. Who here has been to Empowerment Week before? We're about half the room. Okay. So those of you that have done it before and done it with me before, what would you say is the percentage, you can put it in the chat, of information that you've actually put into real life action versus just hearing it, letting it kind of like, fall off the back, and then you put it back into your journal and you never look at it again? What's the percentage that you actually put into your real life? Let's see in the chat. If you guys have worked with me before, you know that I want like high energy. Come on. So she says, truthfully, 20%. Thank you for the honesty. We've got 75%, 75% and still working, 35%. Keep going. This is interesting, right? It's one thing to hear it and understand it, and it's a totally different thing to know it. And just like with advertising, we have to see something a minimum of like 7 times before we'll actually make a purchase. So that goes true with our personal development as well, that we have to hear it and do it and put into action over and over and over again, so it becomes us. And so if you don't take anything else away from today, take that. That whatever you are interested in, there's a difference between understanding it and knowing it. And then there's even a kind of a bump above that, where you understand it, you know it, and you also know what you don't know. You're like, what? Yeah, things start to come into your head, come into your life, come in through people, places, things, experiences. They're like, I didn't know I needed to know that. But now my heart is open, my head is open, my mind is open, and I'm actually attracting in those things that I need in order to get to the next level. But just like we've got over here, would you say, so let's see here. Can someone do an average for me? 75, 20, 75, 35, 65, about half, she says 70, but improving, 75, 25%. I love all the disclaimers, but I'm improving, but I'm working on, but like, don't judge me. I'm not judging, right? I'm not judging. This is more for you guys to gain awareness of, okay, like how often does someone like tell you something? You're like, I know, you told me a million times, I know, but you ain't doing shit about it in your real life. You're like, I'm just gonna tell them I know so that they get off my back, but we're not actually putting that into action. Anyone? I've been there. I'll be honest. I've totally been there. I'm like, I know. I don't know. I might understand, but if I'm not doing it, if it's not a part of me, then I don't know it. It's not a part of me. So I love the honesty on here though, too, because we like the lowest was 20 and the highest was 75. So we could probably say an average of about 50%. So when you are listening to anything, whether it's me or another presenter, if you do nothing but just sit there and listen, you're going to retain about 10% of what I say. And then 50% of knowing things that I've taught, you're looking at 5% of your life has changed. But if you take notes, that percentage goes up to 40% of what you retain. And if you move your body, if you speak it back to me, if you raise your hand when I say raise my hand, if you put it in the chat, if you interact, it goes up to like 85%. So make this time worth your while. Okay, don't make this hour go by and you say, I got 5%. Yeah, I'm not gonna really change my life. I'm gonna go back and Netflix and chill and hope for the best. No, today we're about changing lives. So I teach all about confidence. Confidence is my favorite topic in the world for two reasons. I guess for one reason, but it's broken into two parts. Confidence itself, the word, does anyone know what it means? Any of my icons? I better see this in the chat. Any girls that have worked with me, come on. I better see it in the chat. Oh, Alyssa's on it. I can see it. To trust in. Yeah, that's my girl. To trust in. So if you have self-confidence, you trust in yourself. If you have confidence in your relationship with someone else, you have trust in that relationship. If you have confidence in your wheelchair, that it's going to get you where you need to go, you trust in the ability of this wheelchair to do what it's meant to do, right? But then when you kind of break it down in that way, to trust in, that's an action. So to build that confidence is an action word. We have to build on the action. We have to get ourselves into a peak state. I call it vertical state, right? Where our energy's up, our mind is open. We are passionate about these next steps that we got to take. You take action from that place. Do you think you get a different result than if you were lying down and half asleep? Yeah. Good job, you guys nodding your head. Absolutely. So when we talk about, I teach a lot about building up your iconic identity. And your iconic identity is what you tap into before you take the action. So when you break down building confidence and building this iconic identity, I want to go really heavy into step number one. There's 4 steps to it in the way that I teach anyways. In my own experience, these are the steps that have radically changed my life. And by breaking this down, I know that you can use the framework over and over, whether it's with a relationship, whether it's with your health, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your friendships. You can do all of this no matter what the topic based on this framework. Does that sound good? Who wants to be able to radically change and elevate their relationships? Who wants to radically change and elevate their business? Awesome. Who wants to radically change and elevate their health? Very cool. Who wants to radically change and elevate the relationship with yourself? Every hand's up. Hell yeah. All right. We are on the right path. I love this. All right. Step number 1. Awareness. How often, just like when we said, I know, and we don't really know something, right? Because we're not doing it, we're not living it. How often have we made things either better or worse than they actually are? Chris, I love your reaction, man. She's like, oh my gosh. I love you, Chris. I miss you so much. Right? Who here? So think about this for a minute. Let's go and close our eyes. If I were to ask you if you typically make things out to be worse, or if you typically make things out to be better, or if you are like, no, I can see things exactly how they are. So let's go a show of hands. Who here can see things exactly as they are? Who here typically makes them out to be better than they actually are? And who here typically makes them worse than they actually are? Interesting. I'd say that one awareness could radically change your life, don't you think? If you simply made one shift of, I'm going to make it a point to see things exactly as they are. That's where you can lead to acceptance when life flips you upside down or deals you a hand that you did not anticipate. When things are going well, you can celebrate that because they actually are going well. How often does someone say, oh my gosh, you did so great on that? And what's our first response? No, I totally bombed it. I sucked. My hair was standing up. Like, you go into all the things about why you sucked. And this person's trying to give you a compliment. They're seeing it as it is, as you are. And we deflect. Who does that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Right? It's kind of human nature. And there's almost kind of this like underlying belief that like, if we don't deflect it, that we're somehow going to be full of ourselves. And that's not a good thing. Or so they say. I think it's a beautiful thing, right? There's a great TikTok or some kind of reel, and it's like, you know, she says that she's full of herself, but what else is she going to be full of? Right? You want to be full of yourself. You want to be in love with yourself. You want to be in this trusting and connected relationship with yourself. Because you are going to be along for the ride, whether you like it or not, right? You got to like that person that's in the driver's seat. All right. So not only can we see things, right, as they are, as they better than they are, worse than they are, but there's also something that when we start to raise, start to elevate different areas of our life, we start to do good, start to do better, we start to have a better impact on our life, maybe we start to make more money, maybe we start to have, you know, generate some good momentum with our relationships. What do we do? Do we self-sabotage? So I want you to grab your pen right now. And I simply want you to answer this question. Why do I self-sabotage? And if you're feeling ballsy, you can put it in the chat. And take it a step further as well. Not only why do I self-sabotage, how do I self-sabotage? When things are going well, what do I typically do that stops me or slows me down? Ooh, we have fear of the future. Love the honesty. Thank you, Roberta. Roberta, you've got great energy. I can see that already. Oh, I like you. What else we got? Fear of what could be better. Interesting. We've got fear of things actually going better. Is that what you mean? That you don't want them to be too good? Ooh, Derek, that I don't deserve things being better. Who can resonate with that? Who felt a little pull on their heart when you said that? Chris, consciously or unconsciously, I don't feel deserving. Ooh, sounds like we got a pattern here, people, on deserving. I self-sabotage by thinking I'm not deserving. Oh my God, a third. All right, looks like we got to talk about deserving next. Come on, let's hear some more. That I can't handle bigger and better. Ooh, you guys are getting honest. I like it. What else we got? Afraid that something bad may happen if things are going great. Ooh. What else? JBS, put yours in the chat. I don't know if that's his real name. JBS Ariel. Put yours in the chat. Jackie, put yours in the chat. Fear of what could go wrong when things are going well. Ooh, we've got another trend. Not only do we feel like we don't deserve it, but what happens if it goes well? Oh my gosh. Thinking I'm not good enough. What else we got? Afraid I will not succeed. You're good, you guys. Thank you for the honesty. Jake, thank you. I feel like I don't push myself enough. Now the big question is why? What are you afraid of? If you pushed yourself enough, what would happen? Dean's got fear of success. Roberta, to stop worrying. So it looks like we've got some trends, you guys. Did you see that? We've got trends of deserving. Oh my God, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to be happy. If that gave you a little tug on your heart, if you felt something, when I say you don't deserve it, I want you to write why. Why don't you deserve it? Write it in your own journal. Again, this is awareness. There are no right or wrong answers. It's the best part about awareness. Literally, like, nothing is wrong. So those people that are worried about fear of success or fear of failure, this is like free game for you, okay? Because there's no right or wrong answer. This is about you having self-awareness, so you know the next time you have an opportunity to shine your light, to step into your fullest potential, that you won't self-sabotage yourself. Would that radically change your life? Yeah, it would radically change it. Mari's got fear of what will be going on in my future that is down the road. So we've got the fear of the unknown. Yeah. Fear of success. Says, I want to have great success, but sometimes I feel I'm not at the same level of others in my field. Who feels that? Oh, ouch. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So, and then those of you that are worried about kind of that unknown, right? That fear of the unknown, either it's fear of success or fear of failure, both are that unknown in the future, right? So if that's you, when I say you've got that fear of the unknown into the future, success, failure, anything in between, why? Has something happened in your past that you've broken trust with yourself? Have you just always been more anxious about the future? if you succeeded beyond your wildest dreams in whatever area that you want to find success, what would happen? Would it scare you? Does it exhilarate you? Does it get you hopeful and jazzed up? Or do you like want to close the door and run away? And if you want to avoid it, why? What are you afraid of? Allow yourself to go deeper. Whatever answer you got, so say, what are you afraid of? And you could say, I'm worried that I'll be judged, right? Well, then what are you worried about if you're judged? Well, maybe I'll lose friendships. What will happen if you lose friendships? Then I'll be alone. What'll happen if you're alone? I don't like myself and I don't want to be with myself 24/7, right? Like you never know where the different layers are go, but I really encourage you, this is all about awareness today. Literally step number one of any change, of any growth, you have to know where you're starting. I talk about it a lot as your GPS, right? Your starting point is, I think that's pretty important when you're putting in your GPS to go to the mall. If I put Jackie's house, I'm not going to end up there at the mall. I might end up at Jackie's and then we'll go to the mall. So you never know why that stop would be there. But the point is you have to know where you're starting. Jake writes, fear of not succeeding and having to restart. But is it restarting? Is it really restarting? Are you really starting totally over? Or do you now have a collection of what not to do? Oh, that's pretty valuable. Of what can go right, of new connections, new relationships, new opportunities. Flipping these around on itself is the best way to debunk it. So Bree writes, because I was raised to believe I was only going to be so good. Just so good. And then she can ask herself, what will it cost me if I'm just so good? Will it cost me hopes and dreams? Will it cost me fulfillment? Will it cost me a life worth living? This is not living up to my true potential. And now she can ask herself, what is your true potential? So I'm going to ask all of you guys the same question. First, we're going to do something. So pin it, hold on. All right. So first, I want you to write a number on your page. And then you can put it in the chat if you want to as well. I want you in these 4 different categories, and then also an overall number, to rate on a scale from 1 to 10 how you feel like you're doing, right? How it's going, the effort that you're putting into it, you know, the potential that you've got in it, all of that. I call these your 4 verticals. So your first is your vitality. This is all about that body. All about that base. Okay. So your vitality, this is how you feel in your body. This is the energy you have. This is your physical fitness. This is your digestion. This is your skin's health. This is your posture. This is your muscle strength. This is your willingness to show up and actually move your body every day. All of those together. So I want you to rate that on a scale from 1 to 10. But here's the kicker. I want you to rate it based on what you know your potential is. Not on anybody else. I don't want you comparing to me, to her, to them. I don't want you comparing to anybody else except your own potential. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what are you? And let's hear them in the chat. We got 7, 8, 7, 11, 8, 7, 7, 6, 10. So those of you that did 7 and above, kind of the 8s, 9s, and 10s, we got Marty, we got 4. A 10 would be there is nothing you would change about your physical health. I mean, if we're all running at our potential, would you say that we'd be in our optimal health? Like optimal health. So I want to put that out there. Okay. I would honestly rate myself about a 5. And I work out every day. Oh, she's like, I thought you said what we were capable of. Well, that explains the 11. I was like, shit, girl. All right. So the next one is E. This is for enterprise. I like to describe this as how you make money and a difference. Income and impact, either or, okay? So if you are more of like, I want to give back, I want to help foundations, or I want to, work with nonprofits and things like that, that necessarily doesn't always equate to a lot of income, but there's a lot of impact, right? Also your business. I always like to say that if you can make both the income and the impact, like pristine. So I want you to rate again against your potential. Where are you in your enterprise category? You could think of this also as your personal brand, how people think of you in regards to a professional way. So we got 6, 5, 8, 4.5, 5, 5, 5, 5, lots of 5s, 8, 6. If you're retired, it doesn't matter. Like, what are you doing to help yourself feel fulfilled every day, right? Like, what are you doing with your free time? Who are you kind of as a, even retired, that doesn't matter. It's kind of wherever you are that you want to make an impact and income. It could even just be in your neighborhood. It could even just be in your own home that you want to make a positive impact. 7, 6. I'd rate myself about a 6 in that category. 6, awesome. All right, R. You can call this either relationships or that reconnection. So I want you to think about your relationships right now. And you could have maybe a specific category, or you could do subcategories. So you could have a romantic relationship, your friends, your family, maybe the community that you're trying to, trying to make an impact in. So you can give yourself some subcategories. What do we got on this one? 6, 5.5, 5, 5. Lots of 5s. 5, 5, 6, 7, 5. Say we got a lot of 5s. Romantic, 3. Yep, depends on the subcategory. Absolutely. So it's great for you guys to kind of see which category needs a little help, maybe needs a little bit of love. And then T is your true self. This is your relationship with yourself. Do you like who you are? Do you like the conversations that are going on in your head? Are you constantly calling yourself names? Are you constantly putting yourself down? Are you constantly telling yourself to stop when you really want to shine? Or do you just love on yourself and you meditate and you have good conversations with yourself. You're proud of yourself. You're cheering yourself on. These are higher, love it. 6, 7.5, 7, 5, 5, 7. Next to each category, I'm going to play some music in a minute. I really want you to kind of go inward on this one. I don't want you to go so far into this that you lose sight. What I do want is for each of these categories, the VERT, vitality, enterprise, relationships, true self, I want you to come up with 1 to 2 next steps for each category that would get you closer to that 10 and that fullest potential. Don't go into like 5 years from now. I want the next steps. You can begin doing it now. I'm going to play a little bit of music. I feel like music always helps. These could be phone calls to make, emails to make, forgiveness to give, love to give. This could be sign up for a workout program. This could be actually do the workout program that you signed up for. This could be sign up for that new class you've always wanted to do. This could be go to the fridge and get rid of anything that is not supporting your body feeling good and dump it. This could be chug a gallon of water. This could be have an honest conversation with that person that you've been putting off for a long time. The more honest you are with yourself, the better. Remember, this is your life. It's your life. How are you going to take each category that much higher? Because what it's going to do is it's going to create a new momentum in every category. Now you've got an awareness of, oh my gosh, I'm running it like a 6 or a 5. I'm running at this right now. But if I made this one change, it would start a trajectory. It would move the needle in this area. I'd love to hear in the chat, everyone, at least one move. Pick any category that you want. What is one of your next moves? Remember, these are small. These are attainable. Most of these you'll be able to do tonight, right? Time audit, better scheduling. Get even clearer than that, right? Could you sit down with your calendar right now and map out the next week, right? So get really, really specific. Awesome though. She says, I want to work out in a gym. Awesome. So that's a want. So we got to have an actual action, right? We're building trust into ourselves. So what do you need to do to work out in that gym? Do you need to go get the gym membership? Do you want to go get a week pass? Usually they give a guest pass. Their cardio exercises 2 times per week. Get even more specific. What day of the week and what time? Go put it in your calendar. So your next move is actually to put it in the calendar, not necessarily do the workout. Do you see how these little steps, because we can sit here for an hour and say, I really, really want to lose weight. Or I could start putting into action and kind of reverse engineering what I need to do in order to lose weight. I need to move my body for 20 minutes a day, 3 times a day. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. Awesome. Just turn on some music and dance, right? Now, if you've got it in your phone, it's going to pop up. You've got a new momentum. She says going on things like coffee chats to connect with friends. So your first step could literally be sending the text and say, do you want to go to coffee chat? Schedule time to collect with people one-on-one. Absolutely. So now we're talking, now we're getting really, really specific, right? And instead of people, like name that one person that you're going to do first, right? Now it is tangible. Remember we talked about we either make things better or worse, but rarely exactly how they are. This is about making things exactly how they are. This is calling out your, kind of like calling your shot like they do in baseball, right? It's going over the fence. So, and then you make your move. She says, believe in myself more and not to worry about the things that I can't change. So again, this is a beautiful concept, but we got to break it down into an action, because confidence is a what? There we go. I saw some mouth. It's an action word. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize my music is still playing in the background. It's an action word. So we got to have an action. What is one action, Amanda, that would help you believe in yourself more and not worry about the things you can't change? She says, when I think of a friend, text them to check in instead of putting it off, right? Do it now, do it now, do it now. That's kind of my motto in my head. It's like, do it now. It's like, you know, take off the dress at the end of the day and you're like, I just want to put it on the floor, so the hamper, and it's like, do it now, and then put it in the laundry. Do it now, do it now. Let's see here. Stay focused on my power list each day to keep my progress moving forward. So what are you going to do to stay focused? Break it down even more. How can you stay focused? Do you need to set an alarm on your phone that rings at you? Do you need to set a time during the day that you've blocked on your calendar? They're like, no one bother me. I'm literally doing my power list at 11 o'clock on Mondays, right? Or whatever it is, but like schedule it, make it happen. Do it now. We've got more self-care. So again, what is the self-care there, Jasmine? I invite you to go even deeper. I love self-care, absolutely. But what is it? Is it a hot bath? Is it dry brushing? Is it, you know, journaling? Journaling, I feel like, is the best sleep medicine if anyone needs help sleeping. And I've got a whole, on my website, a free 60-day journal prompt calendar on there. So if you want to go to verticalblonde.com, you can. But more self-care. So what exactly are you going to do for that self-care? Positive self-talk. So Julie, so what, maybe you could start to reframe, right? Something constantly that you're saying to yourself now, how can you flip that and get something that becomes automatic? Just like my do it now, I have retrained my brain that as soon as I say I don't want to do something, my brain says, do it now. Do it now. So you got to get these so that it becomes this record on repeat in your head, because right now and currently in our lives, all of us, my other brain says, do it later, do it later, do it later. Like that's the norm, right? The one that says do it now is not the norm, but I've programmed it to be. I've said it enough times that I'm like, do it now. I've become my own biggest cheerleader. So come up with one saying that would be radical difference in your positive self-talk that could make a change, and you could say over and over throughout the day. Are these helping? Do you realize how so many people, they think they know concepts, right? But in order to actually know it, you got to be doing it. You got to be living it. And if you come up with a concept, there's nothing to do there. Your brain gets confused. And so the more that we can get really clear, almost like break it down, like our brain's a 3-year-old, I'm going to break it down one at a time, right? If we can break that down for our own brains, then it becomes super easy. We don't have to overthink it. We don't have to figure anything out. And now things become automatic. Yeah? How are you guys feeling so far? Do we got 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs up? What do we got? Okay, cool. Love it. Love it. She says, speaking of laundry, forgot I have a load in the washer. The amount of loads I've washed multiple times because I forget that they're in the washer. Oh my God, like story of my life. Do it now, Sarah. Dry brushing, that's amazing. If you guys have any kind of circulation issues, definitely get yourself a dry brush. And my very favorite like scrub for your body is literally just equal parts sugar, just granulated sugar and coconut oil. Mix that together. You can add a little bit of scent to it if you want, but just get that with your dry brush in the shower. Amazing. All right, so we've got some actions. So now I want to, yeah, good, doing good on time. As you go to take that action, remember what I talked about in the beginning of energy. And how you do one thing is how you do what? How you do one thing is how you do
Everything.
Okay. I'm waiting for mouths to move. Gotta wake up to, oh, it looks like maybe we just have to get people dancing. All right, everybody, let's move our bodies. Love this song. Let's start over a little bit. Move your body. Get your arms up. Go one at a time. And together. Blood flowing. Get your lips going. Circulation. Yeah. Yeah, move your body. Arms up. Don't see any mouth move on that. Okay. Take some good smiles from me. I like it. Move your body. Move your body. Listen, there we go. You know me. Come together. All right, give me a woo. All right, very good. So imagine for a second, you went to take that one next step, right? Scheduled something, made a phone call, set up a coffee date, did dry brushing, but you did it at the low energy state before the song versus after. And you elevate your energy, you elevate how you show up, and you bring a completely different identity, a completely different version of yourself to that action. It's going to make, instead of this much change, which is great, but it's going to make this much change. All starts with your energy. When I teach breakthroughs, and it's been so cool training as a breakthrough strategist under Tony Robbins. It's been the coolest experience in my life. For any breakthrough to happen, number one is state. Your physical energy is literally step number one. If it is in a low state, you can't even get to steps 2 and 3. The problem is people don't even think it's part of the equation. They want to have a different result showing up to it the same they've always been. And if you're the same, if you are same the way you've always been is to see things worse than they are, woo, Lord help you. That's going to be a difficult change to make because you've stopped before you've even started. But if you change your physical state, Now you are open, you are ready to receive, and you're ready to show up as the elevated version in order to get an elevated result. We go into a lot of depth in this with the vertical icon transformation, with my one-on-one coaching. So it's all about creating your iconic identity. It's about creating it. It's about saying, this is what I want to be. And there's two parts of that. There's knowing who you are already and what makes you amazing. Problem is that we don't typically tap into what makes us amazing because we're over there dulling our light. Yeah? Who feels that? You're like, I'm not even using what I got, let alone get more or get something new. What the F, right? Thank you guys for the honesty. I really appreciate it. So if you create this iconic identity, it is part who you are and what makes you amazing. And all the good and all the ugly, all the everything mixed up together makes you who you are. But typically, we are all running around at about a 5 compared to our potential. Imagine our potential. Imagine for a minute your potential. Close your eyes. Imagine for a minute you at your wildest, most radical and incredible potential. Imagine living in a world where we're not really taught to dull it. We're taught that our light is needed. Place yourself in that world where your light is needed, where we feed off of one another's potential, where you are able to fulfill your biggest potential because the people around you are doing it as well. That I'm able to fulfill my biggest potential because you are fulfilling yours. Then it's no longer about feeling like we should dull our light, but it's more of a responsibility that we each have to step into that potential. Keep going. Keep thinking about this. Dive deeper. Make it really clear. Paint a picture in your mind 1 year from now. And for 365 days, you committed to your fullest potential in your vitality, in your enterprise, in your relationships, and your true self. For 365 days, you said you gave it all. You left nothing on the table. You poured your heart, your soul, your mind. You invested in yourself with time and resources and money. You're fulfilling your potential. You're making an impact. You're passionate. You're lit up. You have so much energy. Nothing feels like work because it is so much fun. You're having so much fun living in your fullest potential. Your body feels incredible. Aches and pains are gone because you have no time for aches and pains because you are too busy having fun, moving your body, nourishing it with the foods you eat. You can poop easy. Everything's running the way it should. Your enterprise, you're swimming in money. And you know that you made every dollar making other lives better, making other people's lives better. You made a positive impact. And for that, you get fulfillment and joy with how you make money. And you get the finer things in life. Your relationships are thriving. Your friendships are full of life and energy and joy and laughter. Maybe you travel with your friends. What are you doing with them? Having slumber parties? Who knows? Your family is thriving. And they thank you on a regular basis for being the leader and changing the things within the family that needed to change. It was hard for them at first, but now they see how you are living with literally no change to how you show up based on how you expect them to respond. You are you, fully aligned through and through, and you attract high vibe relationships, high vibe family members. And don't even get me started about sexy time. Ooh, you have attracted the hottest, steamiest, most connection relationship you ever imagined. Maybe you're dating more than one. Maybe you're dating one. Maybe you guys get married. What is it for you? But the relationship, it's hot. And your true self. When you look in the mirror, you smile. You're so proud to be you. You're so happy with yourself. Even the areas that you might still be struggling, you have trust in yourself. So you don't have to put your trust anywhere outside of yourself. All the trust is within. You know, from the bottom of your heart, you know you will do and you've got whatever it takes in order to get through it. You know that you'll be able to get resourceful. You know that you'll be able to tap into strength and resilience and determination and fulfillment and gratitude and joy along the way. You are so proud to be you. "365 days, you running and high vibing at your fullest potential in every area. What could you accomplish?" As you're ready, grab your pen and write down everything that came to mind. Write down where you saw yourself. Write down some new awarenesses that maybe you gained regarding these different areas of your life. How did your body feel in a year? What was your professional life like, or the impact you were making? What were those relationships like? Did you get teary-eyed? Did it bring something up for you? Did you see a relationship that you didn't realize needed work, that needs work in order to get it at its full potential? And that relationship with yourself. What did it bring up? Was there a story there? Then that's a good awareness, Roberta. She says, what if you had all that burned out and don't want it again? We won't always want the same things. We have different seasons of life. We have different, perfect example. I had a private client. She was number 2 in this very large real estate brokerage. She says, I want to get number 1. I was like, okay, it's game on, right? I'm like ready to rock and roll. I'm so excited. Game on. Let's do this. Yes, let's get you to number 1, right? We had to change stories and beliefs and her strategy, all these kinds of things. And I said, what is the guy doing that's got number 1 right now? And she started listing all this stuff off. And I said, are you willing to do what number 1 is doing? And she kind of sat back for a minute. I was like, okay. Sometimes as a coach, the hardest thing is to just shut up. Like, let it process. She's coming back, right? So I wait. She says, I'm willing, but I don't want to. I was like, okay, well, there's a story we got to break through, right? You don't want to. She said, yeah. Right now, my daughter is dealing with some health issues. And I want to be number 1 to her. Sometimes what we think we want is totally different than what we've wanted all along in the past. And it's okay for the things that you do want to change as seasons change of your life. She thought that she was a failure because she was number 2 out of like 400. I was just, right? She's like, I got to get to number 1. But when she said, I'm not willing because I want to be number 1 somewhere else. That's a pretty beautiful awareness. And that is totally okay when your desires in life change, right? Sometimes we get what we thought we wanted all along. Alyssa knows this. We had a beautiful awareness the other day where life gave her what she wanted in a package she didn't anticipate. Life will always give us what we want, but it's going to look kind of different sometimes. All right, we're going to finish strong. You guys ready to finish strong? Arms up. Arms down. Simon says, right arm up. Simon says, left arm up. Simon says, nod your head. Right arm down. Oh, you guys are out. You're out. You're out. Plain Simon says, all right. I got some laughs. Simon says, right arm down. I need to stop playing because I'm giving it away. Simon says, blink your eyes. Wink. If you winked, you're out. Simon says, smile. Who's still in the game? We got Chris and Alyssa. Woo, woo. Oh, there we go. And Amanda. All right. Nod your head. Shake your head. Simon says, left arm up. Okay, we're going to be here all day. Simon says, right arm down. And blow me a kiss. All right, we're done. Good job. We got numbers 1, 2, and 3. Good job. 2 out of the 3 are icons. What's up, babies? All right, so like I was telling you about a breakthrough, we're going to finish really strong. You guys get with me? You with me? All right. So for any breakthrough to happen, and in my training and under Tony Robbins, he describes a breakthrough as this. It's very, very simple. It can be big or small, but a breakthrough is a moment in time when everything that once was is no longer. Right? It's a perspective shift. It is a perspective shift of what you think you're capable of what you think you're made of if you like yourself, of the way you can see a relationship. That's why I started with have childlike wonder, because that's going to allow you to break through so many more things. So we've got our physical state, right? You can make like a triangle on your paper. The top, that is your vertical state. You've got to get yourself into a peak state, into a level 10 feeling in your body before you try to do anything, before you try to make a change, before you try to make the phone call, before you go try to have that conversation you've been putting off. Anything that you're trying to do that is worth doing as your iconic identity in an increased state, elevated state. And then the story. As you are going in and seeing yourself 365 days from now, there's a story as to why that was appealing to you, right? There's a story in your head that you believed everything that you saw, that you visualized, would bring you joy, would bring you fulfillment. There's a reason. Would you guys agree? There's also a story as to why you can't. Why you don't think you can. What is that story? Why can't you? If I went to you and said, in 365 days, this is what your life can look like. You said, that sounds nice. I can't though. Why? Why can't you? Right? Even Roberta, I'm going to use you as an example because you put it in the chat. She had a story that she didn't want it again. She got burned out. Has that prevented you from doing other things than what you got burnt out from? Thank you for your honesty. Absolutely. Typically, our one story is on repeat in every area. Going back to what we said in the beginning, you guys would start putting them in that you don't deserve it. That was the common one, right? So now you got to flip that story. Why do you deserve it? Why can you? Building the confidence in yourself to do the things that you want to do, to live the life that you want to live. It takes awareness, abilities, the abilities that you have and the abilities that you need. Being aware enough to say, I need that, or I understand that, but I don't know it. I've heard it, but I'm not living it. Right? Yeah, that book made such a difference in my life. Are you doing anything from it? No, just, I felt really inspired when I read it. You have to start putting things into action. But you do it from an aligned place, aligned with your fullest potential. I call the iconic identity, and what you want. And over time, that line is going to get blurred. You become what you want. From this place, we're at our time. So here's where we're going to wrap up. We're going to do a little cliffhanger. I want you to ask yourself, at what point do I stop? What point do I typically stop when I'm in pursuit of things that I want? And I'm going to give you an example. I did an 8-week course. Some of the girls on this call did it with me. Called the Vertical Icon Transformation Program. We went to depth in these categories. There were people that came every single call. They were early. They took notes. They talked back. And there were people that never showed up to a single call. So I'm going to kind of list this out. You can kind of see where you stop yourself. I'm going to use the vertical icon transformation program as an example. There are some that wanted to sign up, but didn't, right? You stop yourself literally before you start. And then there are some that signed up, but never showed up. Never watched a single call. Basically gave me free money. I don't want free money. I want to make an impact. There are people that showed up without their cameras on, right? It's in the background. They're kind of listening, kind of tending to their kids. Maybe they're making dinner, right? So they're kind of half in, half out. Some that started strong and then stopped halfway through, just stopped showing up. There are some that finished all the way through. Then there's some that finished all the way through, attended every bonus class, and started putting into action what they learned. And then there's some that said, even though it's over, I want to still work with you. And they keep going. Each of those is going to require you to push through next level, next level, next level, next level, right? Every single one of them is going to take that self-talk. It's going to take changing the story. It's going to take action. It's going to take you showing up in a different version of yourself in order to keep going. Every single one of those steps. This is more to give you guys a visual of where do you stop yourself. Who you surround yourself with matters. It matters big time. Because they're going to be the ones that are calling you saying, why the hell aren't you showing up? I see more in you than you're giving. Make sure you've got people like that in your life. And if you don't, come join me. I just launched the Icon Collective. So excited. It's not even like public yet. But it's the Icon Collective, and it's a group coaching and community for icons, for people that want to do life differently, who are open and willing and ready, but they need support and they want direction. Just like I do. I have my own coach. I have my own training, and then I get to lead it as well. Make sure next time I see you, you've put at least this much into action that you've learned today. I saw a head nod from every single person on the screen. So there's at least one thing that really stood out in your mind that you thought, okay, yeah, that one resonated. Put it into action. Know it. Become it. Be it. Don't just listen. Can I get a? There we go. There we go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Will With Me Foundation, for this opportunity. I appreciate it as always. Just thank you guys. And thank you for playing full out today. Thank you for the head nods, for the dancing. Thank you for the heart. Love you so much. Thank you just for showing up. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for closing your eyes and going inward. Thank you for writing in your journals. That makes it so worth it to me. So thank you.
Oh, Sarah, that was such a good ending. Yes, thank you guys so much. Like I said, you always take something new out from Sarah's course, and today just was a good reminder of what we need to do to like keep pushing ourselves forward, keep doing that 1% better. So thank you, Sarah, so much for another great night. And thank
So
you guys.
welcome.
Thank you guys for showing up. There are so many, this is always our biggest event and our biggest night of the week. And there are so many faces on my screen right now, and I'm just so happy. I really hope you guys keep coming back for the rest of the week. We still have a lot of fun stuff. We want to keep this energy moving to Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow we have a really fun interview with another friend named Brianna. She's going to come and talk about her advocacy and podcasting. Thursday, our lovely friend Chris, who is here tonight, is going to lead us to some fun aerobics, some of my favorite activities to do every single week. So I'm excited to share her with the world finally. And then Friday, we have our first, we have a beginner's course for ASL, so sign language. So if you guys are trying to do something new and trying to really get involved in the community, I think this is the best way to do it because communication is key, right?
What a cool thing to introduce. That's rad.
I'm
That's
really
really
excited to have someone who's willing to do that. So if anyone else knows any sign language interpreters who are willing to donate time, send them our way because we think this is a really beneficial skill that everyone should at least have some basic knowledge in for sure. So, well, thank you again.
And does anyone have any questions before we sign off? Any questions before I leave? Yes, Chris.
So Sarah, you're running a new course starting in January, are you not? And
There's a few options. So you can do the vertical icon course. We're going to go through that January. Inside the Icon Collective, we're going to periodically open up the courses. So you can do them on your free time and we can go through kind of calls and so forth. And then there's also an option if you want to do, I call it the Platinum Icon, where you get all courses as well as a future one coming up that's going to be about speaking on stages and speaking to an audience. So you'll have 4 courses that you'll have at your fingertips for life. And then you get extra calls. You even get quarterly one-on-one calls with me. That one is definitely like the biggest bang for your buck. Like if you want to do it, if you want to go all in, that's the way to go. And then there's also just the monthly, which is full of stuff. We're going to have, I even have the calendar, I should pull it up, but there's going to be support group calls. There's connection calls. There's one like big master class a month that will be all virtual. So you can do it from anywhere, bonus calls, just really, really amazing stuff. Very organized, very next level.
so do we go to verticalblonde.com to get all that information or?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. And across the top is there's something that says join the Icon Collective, but everything is on that page. So.
And when I send out the recording tonight, Chris, I'll send a link with all of her stuff as well, with her website and everything. So if you guys got the email from yesterday with Dance Class, you guys will get another one tonight with the recording, just so you can come back and look back at it in general. But yeah, attached in the email will have all of Sarah's info, all of her social media links, her website, and a link to her programs and everything.
Awesome. Thank you, Bree and Sarah.
Yeah. Good to see you, sweetheart.
For donating, for investing in yourself, for giving us your time. It's always nice to have a full room, but we call this an ROI, a return on investment. Like this isn't just about us. This is definitely about you guys as well. So thank you guys, and we're really excited to see you guys for the rest of the week. So thank you, Sarah, and have a lovely night, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you again.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.